Good morning, everyone. This would be my last talk as vicar here in Walsall, and I never dreamt that it would be recorded in my sitting room. I'd hoped and planned for a memorable farewell after a wonderful and profound Holy Week and Easter, and I'd organised in my diary many opportunities to say goodbye to the people that I've known and valued over the years. But circumstances have changed, and we all have to accept this new reality and find a way forward. I see a deep resonance with our situation to the post-resurrection story of Jesus coming to Peter as he's out fishing on the Sea of Galilee. The crucifixion has destroyed all their ideas and plans for the future. They weren't all zealots wanting the overthrow of the Roman Empire, but they did believe that Jesus would bring in God's kingdom and they were going to be part of it. Indeed, they'd already discussed who was going to be at the left and right hand of Jesus. But Jesus had died a horrific death. They had been scattered, and their hopes and dreams had fallen through their fingers. You can perhaps relate to that. Your course, your job, your role, your holiday, your way of life, your plans for the future, at the moment feel as if they've fallen through your fingers. Indeed, my phone keeps on reminding me about events that I'd agreed to do that have long since been cancelled. In the story, though, we find Peter, who has seen the empty tomb, and he's even experienced the risen Christ. But he's still rudderless. The one who's called the Rock, who would be fishing for men, has gone back to what he knows, fishing for fish. And even then, he hasn't caught anything. Many of us have had to retreat back to the very basics of our life, being at home, washing, cooking, and cleaning. That seems to fill our days, and even at times that can seem very empty. Even the life of the church, which we've all worked so hard to sustain and grow, seems to have fallen through our fingers. Then Jesus shouts out to them, "Drop the nets on the other side." I think my message today is one of hope. I'm sure that Jesus had stood at the shore for some time, watching them toiling away with their empty nets. Perhaps he was waiting for them to pause, to come to the end of their own wisdom and strength, before he called out. Perhaps it was only then that they were not too busy and focused on their own ideas to hear his voice. The hope I want to share is that through the resurrection, the presence of the Lord is with each of us. You don't have to be in church. He is with you at home. He may be standing at a distance as we try to find our own way through with our own strength and wisdom, waiting for us to turn to him and allow him to come to us in our weakness. Perhaps this can be a form of prayer for this time, to offer our weakness and our emptiness to the Lord, and to ask him to come to us in his love and hope. And then what does Jesus say? Cast the nets on the other side. This seems such an apt description for something we're all having to do, to turn around, to cast our nets in a different place and in a different way. Whether that is to find a new way to find peace and God's presence at home, whether it's new ways of working and living with others, new ways to worship and be church, and for me to move to a new place, and for me to learn a very new way of being a priest and a minister. To their great surprise, the nets were full. Now, I'm not saying that all is going to be great and easy. We will face many challenges, hard work, and sadnesses. But I do believe the Lord has new patterns and new blessings for us as individuals and as a church and a community. And I hope that part of that might be discovering new ways of appreciating one another and valuing those in our community who we so often take for granted. And Peter recognizes that he's in the presence of God. It is the Lord, he says, that Jesus has come to him in the ordinary and frustrating place that he found himself in, as he could catch nothing. And that is my hope, that in the days and weeks to come, you will know that you are not alone, that the Lord is with you, that Jesus has come to you, and the four walls of your home is filled with the presence of God. That will be your story. My story continues in a different place, but I believe and hope the same is true for me, that as I go to a very different four walls, with doors and bars, that I will find that the Lord is already there in the lives of those I meet, and that he has new patterns and new blessings for me too. So as I end, please pray for me, and I will pray for you. And I do hope to return for a proper farewell. And in all of this challenging time, stay strong in the hope that Christ is with you with his love and his peace. Amen.